Okay, we're down to the specialty problems on page 1, and I've got about 4 or 5 of these. It won't take us too long. On this one here, a very, very strategic problem. It's combining two sets of parentheses. As you'll note here, they try to get you sometimes to get thinking, how about foiling these or factoring pieces? Here on the test, essentially, they're wanting you to learn the trick right there is that negative sign. Don't be multiplying these pieces. That negative sign says you subtract everything here from everything here. There are a couple of ways to do it. The way I'm going to do it, let me just go ahead. I may do it 2 ways. Let's just watch. Here, this is a plus sign on a parenthesis. That's the rule. Plus sign right there. There's no sign. That's plus sign. You drop the parenthesis. You leave every sign the same. Plus sign, they stay the same. So it becomes x squared minus 3x plus 2. You drop the parenthesis. Now, the trick, do this every time. The negative sign in front of the parenthesis changes every sign inside. Now, that first quantity is 3x squared. There's no sign there. You know that means positive. I knew you knew that. So that negative times a positive makes that a negative 3x squared. Change from positive, negative. Sign first, number, letter. That changes this sign. What is this one going to be? Yes, plus 5x. And that sign also changes. Change to plus to negative, negative plus, negative to plus. That is what you now combine. Now, what I'm going to do, you can take this and stack it here and add the pieces. That gets a little confusing in some other ways. I am so lazy, I just do it by connectors. I put connectors to the x squareds. They have to be exactly the same. The x's, I connect this way, and the numbers that way. I think it's easier for the test we deal with, the level we deal with. This is sufficient. If you're trained the other way, it's okay. Whatever you're smart by, I like your method too. You've got a +1 and a -3. This is where you get to combining. No multiplication anywhere in this problem. This is a simplify combining process. Don't multiply any pieces. Promise me, please. Thank you. You've got a -3 and a +1. When you have a different sign, you have to subtract the value. If they were both negative, they'd be double negative. They'd be further negative. Both positive, they'd be more positive. The -3 minus the 1, you're going to have a negative sign because the larger of the two being combined is negative. So it's a negative sign. And we'll go back over here to this. You've got a minus 2x squared. You subtract the small from the larger, keep the sign of the larger. It's going to be negative. Here you have a -3x and a +5. The larger of the two with different signs is the plus. And it's going to be 5 of them, take away 3 of them, whatever x's are. And that's going to give you how many? There you go, +2x. Good. A +2 and a +1. If you can't do that, I can't help you. I know you can, I know you did, and that is your answer. Now they do trick on here and leave that as a negative and on the answer, and they have that factor with a 1 instead of a 3. I've seen that before. Just to trick you to see if you picked up the sign change. That changes every sign to a negative, to positive, to positive. Negative, positive, positive. And then we combine. Great. Now, while we're at it, we're on the same page. This is a multiplication problem. Y'all remember how to do those? This problem says you do this item multiplied 3 times. So if that was a 2, that'd be a square. But in this case, I'm dealing with a 1 over 5. 1 over 5. 1 over 5. I'll put my multiplication sign there 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now, I also have x times x times x. Well, what's that? That's x to the 3rd power, x cubed. You knew that. Now, I know. What is 1 times 1 times 1? I had 3 kids last week tell me it is 3. Mr. Rhodes, 1 times 1 times 1 is 3. I don't know. Our future doesn't add up. That's all I'll tell you that. 1 times 1 times 1. Okay, please. Uno. And 5 times 5 is 25. And 25 times 5 is 5 quarters, right? That's right, it's about 25. 125. So your number is 1 over 125, and you have your x value, x to the 3rd power. That is the answer to that. You just rewrite all pieces 3 times, multiply them out. How about that? Good job.